The word for you today, it's Tuesday, February 27th. To be conformed is to be creative. What's he talking about? Romans chapter 8, verse 28 and 29 says, "For those God foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed in the likeness of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brothers." What in the world does all of that mean? Well, the first thing he's telling us is God is creative. He created us to be creative. One area of his creativity is how he grows us as believers. Verse 28 says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who've been called according to his purpose." He does that because he has a plan for us. Things happen to us, some good, some bad. But here's the incredible thing. God can take all of those and make something good come out of it. It may not be a good thing, but God can take it and make something good. And then we go to verse 29. It says, "For those God foreknew." God knew us before we were even formed. He knew us. Those God foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the likeness of his Son. God's desire we be like Jesus. He wants us to be like Jesus. Can you imagine the many different ways, the creative ways God has to help people to become like Jesus? You know, people you can think of in your family or at church. Take our church, for instance. Mike Shelton, our music guy. Can you imagine how creative God has to be to conform him to be in the image of his Son? Just imagine. Imagine. How creative does he have to be to help you and me be conformed to the image of his Son? Of course, we all think it takes more creativity for those other people than for us, but God is predestined. He wants to conform us to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brothers. This is a fact of God bringing us into his family, that when we become a believer, we're a brother or sister to Jesus. Isn't that incredible? We're a child of God. God created an incredible world. And the most amazing things are not the things that man has made, but the most amazing things are those created things that he did. Niagara Falls, the Grand Canyon. You can just go on and on throughout just the United States, not to mention the world, of all the incredible things that God has created. And if it's like that here on earth, think what it must be like in heaven. And the same God who created those things here is the same God who is creatively changing you and me to be in the image of his Son. The same God who created Niagara Falls is creating you and me to be in the image of his Son. Isn't that wild? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that incredible? So when you see things happen to you that you don't understand, realize God is working on you. He's working on you to help you to be more like Jesus. Have a good day.